for ANSYS. Okay, and from next week onwards, we'll be moving to MATLAB. So as a part of the last session, today we will be seeing thermal problems. Okay, so initially we saw SOM problems, then we saw model analysis problems, and in today's class we'll be seeing thermal problems. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. So like this is the problem that we are going to handle. Okay, today we'll be seeing three scenarios. Okay, so in the exam you might get one question. Okay, so here the first problem, if you look at the exercise number 10, what is that we are looking at is verify Fourier's law of heat conduction for the given condition, and we should also expect it to show the temperature distribution in ANSYS software. So in this case, if you look at it, we have a solid plate. Here we are going to do a thermal assessment, like how the heat flows along this particular plate. That is what we are going to measure. We want to see the temperature distribution when I give at this condition. When I give at one side to 500 degrees Celsius and the other side 100 degrees Celsius, what would be the heat distribution across the plate? So that is what we are going to see, and we are also going to see what is going to be the heat conduction. Okay, the rate at which the heat is conducting. So for that, there is generally, technically speaking, when you have to do mathematically, you have the formula, you substitute the values, you substitute the thermal conductivity values, area values, and then the temperature difference values, and then you calculate this value. Okay, this is something you do it mathematically, but in ANSYS software, we will create this model, and then we will be setting up the conditions, and then we will be processing it like how we did for the beam problems and how we did for the solid plate problems in ANSYS. Like that, we will be handling here. The thing is, when you see 500 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Celsius, here we are talking about conduction heat transfer. And in this both the cases, what we are doing is we are arresting the motion of the heat itself. We are completely insulating in these two areas. So we will see this flow, how to do it in ANSYS software. Okay. So now we go to the ANSYS software. If you look at this, this is the next problem. Okay, so I'll just give a brief description about the problem before going to the answers. So if you look at the previous case, what was that is like we had insulation at the top and at the bottom. If you look at the exercise number 2, here we are not having any insulation. We are having heat on all four sides of the plate. Okay, so this is what, if you look at the diagram this side, okay, this is all indicating like there is conduction heat flow on all four sides. So this is the temperature condition here. It is given for this sum. We expect you to measure the temperature distribution diagram and the Q value. Okay, that is something you'll have to figure it out. If you go to the exercise number 12, if you look at this, here it is a combination of conduction and convection. Okay, so whenever you define convection, you look at this H value. This H value indicates convection. So when the heat transfer is happening in convection mode, you indicate this value H. If you look at this 100 and 500 degrees Celsius, these two sides we have only conduction happening. That is why we don't put the H value. This side, if you look at this, we are putting the H value because we are indicating convection. Even whenever it is insulated, there also we are supposed to bring in the convection value, but since there is no heat transfer, we have to indicate it as 0. So if you look at the 3D visualization, you will be in a position to better understand this scenario. So these are the three scenarios today we will be analyzing in ANSYS software. Okay, so now this is the scenario 1. Okay, now we will model it in ANSYS software. So we all know how to open ANSYS software by now. So we open the ANSYS software from ANSYS APDL page, and then we have to click on preference. So once you click on preference, you have the preference for GUI filtering dialog box popping up. So always in earlier cases, we pick structural. This time we are not going to pick structural, we are going to pick thermal, because in today's class, we are going to solve thermal problem. So I pick thermal and click OK. Okay, so I've indicated ANSYS software that I am going to work on thermal problem. Next, I go to the preprocessor. After clicking on preprocessor, I click on element type. Once clicking on element type, I have to select add edit delete button. Okay, so when I click on that button, what happens is like the element type dialog box pops up. In the element type dialog box, click on the add button. It gives the library of element types. Since today we are going to deal with a solid, under thermal mass, there is an option to select solid. Click on solid and the other next dialog box, click on code 4 node 55. Okay. From this drop down box, select that and click OK and click close. So now we have indicated the answers software that we are working on a thermal problem and we are working on a solid and we have selected that particular element. Now we have to define the material properties. So for defining the material properties, click on the material properties link in the menu bar and click on material models link. When you click on materials model link, you get define material model behavior. Here you click on the thermal problem. Okay, so in earlier cases we always choose isotropic, but here it is going to be different since it is a thermal problem. In thermal problem, conductivity is a very important aspect, so we have to click on conductivity and then you click on isotropic. Once you click on isotropic, you will get the provision to enter the k values. Okay, the k value is entered here. The k value is entered as 10. Now click OK. Always give the k value as 10. Next, you go to the modeling part. In the modeling part, I'm going to create this flat plate of 1 cross 1 meter. So in order to create the flat plate, I go to the modeling in the main menu and then under modeling, I select create. In create, I'm going to pick up areas. In areas, I'm going to pick up rectangle. Under rectangle, you choose by two corners. So we try to determine the two opposite edge of the rectangle to generate the rectangle. So we are determining the initial condition which is 0, 0 and we are determining the opposite condition of the plate which is 1, 1 and then we hit the apply button. You could see that the rectangular box is created in the answer screen. So as usual, after creating the model, next thing we have to go is for meshing. Pick up meshing from the main menu bar. There you go to mesh tool, click mesh tool. There you will see the mesh tool dialog box prompting up. There, in order to have the smart size in a very small form, check smart size and bring the smart size to fine. Only then you'll have fine small meshes being created. It will have a better computational ability when the meshes are small. So for that we are clicking smart size and making it fine. Then we go click the mesh button. After clicking the mesh button, select the object and then under mesh areas click OK. Now you could see the meshing happened in the screen. You could see small rectangular boxes on the solid object. After doing the meshing, next we go to solution. Click on solution. Under solution, we are going to define the loads. Here when you talk about load, it is thermal load. So you go to apply. Under apply, click thermal. So under thermal, you have to click temperature because you are going to give temperature. Now we have to pick the area where you are going to give temperature. So we use line option to determine the temperature. When you click on the line option, you get this dialog box, apply temperature on lines. What you're supposed to do is, when the dialog box pops up, you select the area where the temperature has to be given. You click on this edge, automatically this line will be selected. Then you click OK. Now it is asking you to give the temperature. So if you look at this, apply temperature on line dialog box opens up. There you have all degree of freedom and temperature. You have to click temperature alone. You click temperature alone and give the value of low temperature as 500 degrees Celsius. By default, it will take it as degree Celsius. So you have to give it as 500 degrees Celsius. Click apply. You could see the triangular marks happening along the line, indicating like a temperature of 500 degrees Celsius is applied in that direction. In the opposite side, we have a temperature of 100. So I checked the opposite side line and then I click the OK button. Now again, the apply temperature on lines dialog box pops up. I check temperature and the load here is 100 degrees Celsius. I click on 100 and then I hit the OK button. Now you could see the triangular box appearing in that particular line as well, indicating like a thermal load of 100 degrees Celsius is being applied on that particular line. Now we go to the convection. Whenever you are going to define insulation, we go do the insulation under convection mode. There again we'll have to pick up lines. So you select lines, this dialog box pops up. So the bottom and the top is going to be insulated. So I do it together because both of them are going to be insulated. I select them together. I click this first, click this second, and then I click OK button. Now this is the apply convection line. So here what I'll do is I'll give the value film coefficient as 0 and bulk temperature as 0 and click OK. Okay. So by means of doing this, what happens is like I have insulated the top and bottom part of the plate. Then I go to solve and then I click on current LS and then I obtain my solution, which is very similar to all the other cases. After doing this, we are going to see the results. Now we go to general processing. Under general processing, you have to go for plot results. Under plot results, you have to select counter plot. In counter plot, click nodal solution. Once you click nodal solution, counter nodal solution data dialog box pops up. In this dialog box, pick up degree of solution under nodal solution. Okay, there once you click on degree of solution, nodal temperature will pop up. Click on the nodal temperature link and click OK button. Now you could see the temperature distribution across the flat plate. So from 500 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius, you could see how the temperature is getting distributed. Okay, so this is the temperature distribution is shown as a function of RGB values. So this is default. It is defaultly coded in ANSYS software. So for this condition, how the temperature distribution will be there is something like by means of RGB values, the ANSYS software is indicating it to us. Okay. So next we go for thermal flux. Under thermal flux, click on thermal flux vector sum. Hit OK. Okay. There you could see the Fourier retransfer value, the Q value, which is 400, which is 4000. Okay. This is what we were able to obtain when you solve it mathematically as well. So this is how we get the result for case 1 of the ANSYS problem that we saw. Now next what you are going to do is we are going to case 2. So this is what the condition, this is what the condition you saw, where you had insulated and we had conduction 500 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. Now we are going to next problem, which is a case where there is no insulation at all. In this case, we have only conduction happening. So we have 100 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Celsius, 500 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now we go on to resolve the problem. Now we go to the solution. You click on define loads. Under define loads, I click on delete option. Okay. So I'm telling you how to remove all the data. There you click on all load data. Under all load data, click on all loads and options. When you click on all loads and options, it's asking for delete all loads and LS options. So you click on this OK. Okay. So once after clicking on this, you scroll, you could see the change, which indicates like all the loads have been removed. So this will be seen only if you scroll. So in order to delete, you have to go to solution, define loads, delete. Under delete, you have to go to all load data. There all loads and options. You click on that and then you select all the places where load is being select the entity and click OK button. All the loads will be removed off the sample and you have to move the scroll button in the mouse. The central scroll button, you roll it up, the loads will be moved. Okay, this is how you have to delete all the loads. Now we have resolved the given plate to the condition of, we have resolved the given plate to the condition of initial conditions. Okay, we have resolved the plate to initial condition. Now there is no load. Now I am changing the load. Okay, so for this case, what I'll do is I'll go to apply. Under apply, I click on thermal. Under thermal, I select temperature. On temperature, what we have to choose? We have to choose lines. So on clicking on lines, apply temperature on lines, apply temperature on line dialog box pops up. So when it pops up, you have to select the lines where we are going to give the temperature. I am selecting the line at the top and then I hit OK button because only that is a place where we have a different temperature. that is 500 degrees Celsius. So I picked up that line, I click temperature and I give 500 degree value, and now I am clicking in apply. Now you can see the arrow marks at the top. So a temperature of 500 degrees Celsius is applied at the top surface. Next, I again click on all three surfaces. I click on all three surfaces and then I click OK. The reason why I click on all the surfaces together is because here there's going to be common temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. That is the reason why I select all three lines together and hit OK button. Since it's going to be same temperature, I'm giving 100 and then I click OK button. You could see the load being applied in all the other three sides as well. So now I have given the condition. So now I have to solve it. So I go to click on solve. Under solve current LS, you click OK. The solution is done for you. Now we have to see the results in where? General post processing. So we move to general post processing. There under plot result, click on plot result, click on counter plot, click on nodal solution. In the nodal solution, click on degree of solution, and that you click nodal temperature to see the temperature distribution box. Okay, so this is how the temperature distribution is happening in this particular plate. So we are able to get a feel of the temperature distribution in a particular plate. So this is where when all the sides conduction is happening. In first case we saw conduction is given only at two sides and the top and bottom are insulated. In this case what we are seeing is conduction is given on all the four sides. Okay, and then we will see the thermal flux value also. Click on nodal solution, thermal flux value, click on thermal flux vector sum, and you could see the values. Okay, the thermal flux value is seen in the SMX. Okay, that is the thermal flux value, the Q value for this particular condition. Now we are going to case 3. Okay, so case 2 is solved. Now we are going to case 3. In case 3, what we are seeing is we are seeing both conduction and convection happening together. Okay, if you look at the 100 degrees Celsius and 500 degrees Celsius, if you look at this side and this side, we have conduction happening. And if you look at the bottom, it is insulated, which is actually convection, but the heat transfer is 0. And you look at this side, it's 100 degrees Celsius and the heat transfer is happening at the rate of 10. So under this condition, how to see the Q value and how to see the thermal temperature distribution is what we are going to see now. So we go to the ANSYS software. So even in this case, I will not start from the scratch again. Even when you practice, I will ask you to practice like this, because when you do research problems, you will have to delete and try different loads. So this is very important for you to learn that as well. Okay. So again here, we are going to delete the loads here. For that, I go to solution. You have to click on solution. There under solution, there is something called define loads. Click on define loads. After clicking on define loads, look at the bottom. You see the delete button is there. Click on delete button. Under delete button, select all load data. Everything completely you are going to remove. Select all load data. Okay. Under all load data, all loads and options you click. Immediately this dialog box pops up. Delete loads and LS options. Click OK. And then scroll. Click OK and then scroll. Only then you could see the change. Now we have removed all the loading condition onto the solid. Now we go and apply. So even for this applying load, under loads itself, you click apply and go to the lines. Under thermal, so you click on apply, thermal. Under thermal, click on temperature. And under that, there's something called lines. You click on lines. When you click on line, this apply temperature on line dialog box pops up. Now I click on the plate line side at which I'm going to define the temperature. I am picking up the top side of the plate, and then I click OK. And then I give the temperature as 500. Ensure that it is temperature selected, not all degrees of freedom. You have to be very careful. Temperature has to be selected. Give the value as 500 and hit OK. So now if you see that the top, I have defined the temperature as 500 degrees Celsius. Now again I click on onlines. You could see apply temperature online dialog box popping up. I click on the side line. Okay. And then I hit OK. Now I'm going to change the temperature to 100. And then I hit OK. You can see the load conditions. This both the cases I have loaded conduction mode heat transfer, okay, and I've given a temperature of 100 and 500. Now I'm going to convection. So under thermal itself, you can see there's a category called convection. I click on convection. On convection, I click on lines. On lines, I click. I get this dialog box. I am selecting this side, okay, and then I hit the OK button. Since it is a convection, I'm getting a different screen. Apply convection on lines. So here the value of film coefficient is 10, okay, and the temperature is given as 100 degrees Celsius. Both these are given in the question. So 10 and 100 is given, and then I hit the OK button. You could see the convection load, which is very different, which indicates like it is applied in this side. Okay, conduction, if you see, the load is differently indicated. Convection is indicated differently. Next, I click on again on lines. I click on the line on which I'm going to give the convection as 0 and hit OK. Now the convection line dialog box pops up. I give the value as 0 and the bulk temperature as 0, and then I hit OK. Okay, so I have set the plate and I've given the all the conditions. After giving all the conditions, I go to the menu bar, click on solve button, then these three options pops up. There I have to select current LS. Once I click on current LS, there is no problem. Then we will get the solution done. So clicking on OK, solution is done, no error. So I am closing it. Next, I'm going to see the solution. So always solutions will be there in general post processing. Go to general post processing. Under general processing, always select plot results. Click on plot results, you have counter plot. Click on counter plot, you get nodal solutions. Click nodal solutions. Okay. Under nodal solutions, click degree of solution and pick nodal temperature. And then hit OK button. You could see the temperature distribution graph. You could see the temperature distribution graph. So you could opt in, actually, for a given condition, you could opt in graphs from this, and you could use thermocouples, and using LabVIEW software you can get the actual data, and then you could use MATLAB and generate a heat map and compare these two images and see whether the simulation is right or not. So but this is how we do the simulation of temperature distribution. Then we go to thermal flux, click on thermal flux. Under thermal flux, click thermal flux vector sum, hit OK, you get the Q value. So this is how we will be doing the three thermal analysis. In the exam, you will get a couple of problems for you. It will be always a mix and match. You might get one thermal problem, one MATLAB, or it will be one MATLAB, or it will be one structural problem. So with this, I am stopping up the thermal analysis problem here today.